Italy, the land of ancient ruins, Renaissance art and delectable cuisine. A country that has inspired poets, artists and dreamers for centuries. From the grandeur of the Colosseum to the serene beauty of the Tuscan countryside, Italy is a place where history and culture intertwine seamlessly. A country that beckons travelers with promises of romance, history and la dolce vita. The allure of Italy is undeniable, drawing millions of visitors each year who seek to immerse themselves in its rich tapestry of experiences. But beneath this idyllic facade lurks a disturbing truth, a reality that is often overshadowed by the country's picturesque charm and vibrant culture, a darkness that can shatter the dreams of unsuspecting visitors. This hidden side of Italy is rarely spoken about, yet it exists, casting a shadow over the country's sunlit image. This is the Italy rarely seen in glossy travel brochures, an Italy where the risk of encountering corruption, injustice and even imprisonment is a chilling reality. The legal system, often perceived as labyrinthine and opaque, can be a daunting challenge for those who find themselves entangled in its web. For many, the allure of Italy lies in its perceived safety and welcoming atmosphere. The warmth of the Italian people, the beauty of the landscapes, and the richness of the culture create an inviting environment that seems almost too good to be true. Tourists flock to its iconic cities, eager to lose themselves in the beauty of Rome's Colosseum, the canals of Venice, and the rolling hills of Tuscany. These are the images that dominate our perceptions of Italy, painting a picture of a perfect travel destination. Or the rolling hills of Tuscany, the vineyards, the olive groves, and the charming villages that dot the landscape all contribute to the region's timeless appeal. Yet beneath the surface of this picture postcard perfection, a sinister undercurrent flows, a current that can drag unsuspecting individuals into a vortex of fear and despair. Stories of tourists facing unexpected legal troubles, falling victim to scams, or encountering corrupt officials are not uncommon. Imagine this: you're enjoying a leisurely afternoon in a bustling Italian piazza, the aroma of espresso and freshly baked bread filling the air. The sun is shining and the atmosphere is filled with the sounds of laughter and conversation. The simple pleasures of life seem to be at their peak, and you feel a sense of contentment and joy. Suddenly you're surrounded by police officers, their faces stern, their words accusatory. The atmosphere shifts dramatically, and the sense of security you felt moments ago evaporates. You're arrested, accused of a crime you didn't commit, and thrown into a bewildering legal system where your rights seem to evaporate into thin air. The language barrier, the unfamiliar procedures, and the lack of support can make the experience even more harrowing. This is not a scene from a crime novel, but a terrifying reality for a growing number of people in Italy, including foreign tourists. The fear and confusion that accompany such an ordeal can be overwhelming, leaving individuals feeling isolated and helpless. This is not a scene from a crime novel, but a terrifying reality for a growing number of people in Italy, including foreign tourists. The fear and confusion that accompanies such an ordeal can be overwhelming, leaving individuals feeling isolated and helpless. The consequences can be severe, ranging from hefty fines to lengthy prison sentences, and the impact on one's life can be devastating. This essay delves into the unsettling truth about travel in Italy, exposing the potential dangers lurking beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic destination. It aims to shed light on the experiences of those who have faced the darker side of Italy, and to provide a cautionary tale for future travelers. It's a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that even in the most beautiful of places, darkness can lurk and vigilance is paramount. By being aware of the potential risks and taking necessary precautions, travelers can better protect themselves and ensure that their Italian adventure remains a dream rather than a nightmare. One of the most concerning aspects of this issue is the alleged presence of corruption within certain segments of Italian society, particularly among white-collar professionals. These individuals, often seen as the backbone of the economy, are sometimes implicated in activities that undermine the very fabric of trust and integrity. And law enforcement agencies, while it's crucial to remember that not all individuals in these professions are corrupt, the actions of a few can cast a long shadow over the many. The trust that the public places in these institutions is paramount, and any breach of this trust can have far-reaching consequences. There have been enough credible reports and documented cases to raise serious concerns. These reports often highlight a pattern of behavior that is both troubling and persistent, suggesting that corruption is not just an isolated issue, but a systemic problem that requires comprehensive solutions. The Carabinieri, Italy's national gendarmerie, often lauded for their efficiency and presence throughout the country, haven't been immune to such accusations. Despite their reputation for maintaining order and security, there are stories that circulate of individuals being targeted, sometimes seemingly at random, and then finding themselves ensnared in a system where accusations are readily made but challenging to refute. This creates an environment of fear and uncertainty where the line between right and wrong becomes increasingly blurred. This alleged corruption can manifest in various ways, from bribery and extortion to the fabrication of evidence and the manipulation of legal proceedings. The consequences for those caught in this web of dishonesty can be devastating, ranging from financial ruin to wrongful imprisonment and psychological trauma. Bribery often involves the exchange of money or favors to influence decisions that should be made impartially. Extortion, on the other hand, involves the use of threats or coercion to obtain something of value. Both practices erode the foundations of justice and fairness. The fabrication of evidence and the manipulation of legal proceedings are particularly insidious forms of corruption. They not only undermine the legal system but also destroy the lives of innocent people. The consequences for those caught in this web of dishonesty can be devastating, ranging from financial ruin to wrongful imprisonment and psychological trauma. The impact of these corrupt practices is far-reaching. For the individuals directly affected, the consequences can be life-altering. Financial ruin can strip them of their livelihoods and savings, while wrongful imprisonment can rob them of their freedom and future. The psychological trauma inflicted by such experiences can leave lasting scars. Travelers, often seen as easy targets due to their unfamiliarity with the language, laws, and local customs, can be particularly vulnerable. What starts as a dream vacation can quickly descend into a nightmare, leaving lasting scars long after the trip has ended. The fear and confusion experienced by tourists can be compounded by their lack of knowledge about local legal systems and their limited ability to seek help. The vulnerability of tourists is further exacerbated by their temporary status in the country. They may not have the same access to resources and support networks as locals, making them easy prey for those looking to exploit their situation. The emotional and financial toll of such experiences can be significant, turning what should have been a memorable trip into a source of lasting distress. In conclusion, the presence of corruption within certain segments of Italian society, particularly among professionals and law enforcement, is a serious issue that demands attention. The impact on individuals, whether locals or tourists, can be profound and far-reaching. Addressing this problem requires a concerted effort to promote transparency, accountability, and justice, ensuring that the actions of a few do not tarnish the reputation of the many. Compounding these concerns is the perceived opacity of the Italian justice system. This perception is not just a recent development, but has been a topic of discussion for many years. The intricate layers of the system, combined with its historical roots, make it a complex entity to navigate. While Italy is a democratic nation with a functioning legal framework, the reality on the ground can sometimes paint a different picture. The legal system, though robust in its design, often appears convoluted and inaccessible to the average person. Navigating its complexities can be daunting, especially for foreigners. Tourists and expatriates often find themselves lost in translation, both literally and figuratively, as they try to understand the legal jargon and procedures. The system, often bogged down by bureaucracy and a lack of transparency, can be a maze of red tape and procedural delays. This bureaucratic quagmire can lead to significant delays in legal proceedings, causing frustration and anxiety for those involved. It can feel impenetrable to outsiders, making it difficult to challenge accusations or seek redress for injustices. The feeling of helplessness is exacerbated when individuals are unable to find clear and concise information about their rights and the steps they need to take. Critics argue that this lack of transparency can create an environment where misconduct and corruption can thrive. They point to numerous instances where the lack of oversight has allowed unethical practices to go unchecked, shielded from public scrutiny and accountability. These practices can undermine the very foundation of justice. The presence of security cameras and other surveillance measures often does little to alleviate these concerns, as they are seen as tools of control rather than transparency. The system, they claim, sometimes seems more focused on protecting its own than on ensuring justice for all. This perception is fueled by stories of legal professionals who appear to prioritize their interests over those of their clients. This alleged lack of transparency can have profound implications for those accused of crimes. The stakes are incredibly high, especially for those who are innocent but find themselves entangled in legal battles, particularly if those accusations are unfounded or based on fabricated evidence. The fear of wrongful conviction looms large, casting a shadow over the entire judicial process. Without a clear understanding of the legal processes, access to reliable legal representation becomes a critical issue. Many find themselves at the mercy of a system they do not fully comprehend. And a system that prioritizes fairness and accountability is essential for maintaining public trust. When people believe that the system is fair and just, they're more likely to respect and adhere to its rulings. The pursuit of justice can feel like an insurmountable challenge. For many, the journey through the Italian legal system is fraught with obstacles, but the hope for a fair resolution keeps them moving forward. The human cost of these issues is immense, with countless individuals, both Italian citizens and foreign visitors, claiming to have fallen victim to this deeply flawed system. Their stories paint a chilling picture of lives upended, reputations tarnished, and a profound sense of betrayal by the very system that should protect them from harm. There's the case of the American student, wrongfully accused of theft, who spent months in an overcrowded Italian prison, awaiting trial, his desperate pleas for help seemingly ignored. Or the British retiree, targeted by corrupt officials who fabricated evidence to seize his Italian property, leaving him financially ruined and emotionally shattered. These are not isolated incidents, but represent a worrying trend that threatens to tarnish Italy's reputation and undermine the safety and well-being of its visitors. Each story serves as a stark reminder that even in a country renowned for its beauty and charm, darkness can lurk and justice is not always guaranteed for everyone.